here for another episode of Mindfulness and Meditation. And tonight I just decided to talk about goals. Goals are extremely important because they help you make a change in your life, they help you to improve, and they can help you stay focused on the things that you want to stay focused on. And it's a part of growth. I would say that definitely for me, it's for me to grow and not just stay stagnant and or keeps me from going backwards and making the wrong mistakes multiple times, over and over. So recently I ended up getting this book. I talked about it before. It's called Worship in 66 Ways. It's a 90-day Bible challenge, and it is, the author is Sean Saunders. I actually found it on an Instagram page and decided to check it out. But aside from this book, just reading the first few pages, I thought about, the goals chapter that it talks about. That's the actual first chapter, setting 3 goals for yourself that you want to achieve. And you may not achieve, you may change goals along the way. It's not saying keep these same 3 goals and try to work on it forever, because things change. You could achieve that goal in a week or so. So once you achieve that goal, think of other things you want to achieve, other things you want to change. And I believe I talked about this before, and if you feel the need to go back to those previous goals, if you feel like you still need to work on it, then you go back and, start over and just keep pushing yourself. But goals change, things change, and we're in a time where we're going to be at an all-time high. We're going to see blessings coming and flowing, but we're also going to have times where we're going to be low. Times where it looks like things just aren't getting better. It goes up and down. So going up and down this roller coaster, you just got to prepare yourself and remind yourself, when you are having your trials, when challenges are coming, remind yourself of the time that you did see yourself coming out of a trial where God brought you out, where you saw things improving. Because for me, things weren't always, I wasn't always low. I wasn't always going through depression. I've had highs as well. My high for me was my last year of college, going for my bachelor's degree. It was really hard. I didn't think I was going to make it out, but my last semester came, the internship, and as nervous as I was, I did really well. That internship prepared me for what was to come in the future, which was me working as a day treatment counselor, something I wanted to do. I wanted to help kids, I wanted to work with kids, mentor, be a support like a big brother. And it was hard work, that internship, but it prepped me for what was to come. And even though it was still hard at times, I loved what I did. I truly did. So I got through it, and I had some highs working as a day treatment counselor, especially seeing the kids throughout the years grow up and mature, and working with them through when I was a counselor, seeing that growth, seeing them change to the point where they no longer needed me and they were discharged. That makes you happy, because it makes you think, well, maybe I did make an impact on them. Maybe I did help. So, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. When it comes to the goals, one goal I'm setting for myself is taking more time out with God. And actions speak louder than words. Because I set time sometime for prayer, to take time out and just read the Word. And I find myself missing sometimes some of those days, missing my prayer time. And when you miss one, sometimes it's easy to continue to miss, to just keep going through the day and not praying. And that can weaken you spiritually. I would say my mom always told me that you skip out one day of prayer, it'll end up building up to 2 days, 3 days, then weeks, then months. And it will spiritually weaken you. So you gotta be careful. So my goal for myself is to wake up and not turn on the TV, not look straight at my phone and go on social media, but wake up and say my prayers and do what I need to do to gather myself and get myself together in the morning. Because I go to work early. I work up in Accomack, so it's a drive. So I feel like wake up in the morning and getting myself together mentally and spiritually, that'll help me and help shape my day. That's a part of growth. So that is a goal that I'm setting. I would like to have 3 goals as a whole, but that's the biggest goal for me right now. I know another for me is just making sure I'm that friend and brother and son that, you know, be the friend that I want. I always talk about friendship and get annoyed sometimes with how people treat me, but I gotta remind myself not to be like that, to be an example. Because you can't say one thing and then do another. You know, that's a hypocrite, and it happens to the best of us. But when you catch it, you gotta work on it. So once you see that you aren't where you need to be, that could be mentally, spiritually, if you're not being a good friend, good brother, cousin, whatever it may be, catch it and work on it. Make a change. And I'm speaking for myself first. It's easy to, you know, preach one thing and say this and that to someone else, but what about yourself? So a lot of times when I tell people, you know, I'm working on me, that's what I mean. I'm working on myself, working on being a better person. And I'm not worried about who's seeing the change right now, as long as I'm doing what I need to do to make those changes and I start seeing a little growth. You know, that's all that matters. And that I'm trying to please that man up there and make him proud. That's what counts. We make mistakes, we learn from them, and we keep pushing and keep trying every day to change, to grow, to improve. And just remember, through the hard times, the trials that come, because you can wake up sometimes low. Go to bed down and wake up down. That's why I say try to take more time out and Do things that's going to help you spiritually, that's going to help you mentally. Try to do something at night before you go to bed. You know, write down, jot down things that you know you need to work on. Positive affirmations. You can do it at night. You can do it in the morning. There's really no set time. If it helps, positive affirmations at any time each day. It may seem cheesy, it may seem corny, but it helps. I'm doing anything, everything I can to just stay on the right track and on the right path. And I'm thankful that for the most part, I have my days where I get down and low, but it's nothing like it used to be in the past. I remind myself that each day is not perfect, but I thank God for being here another day. And the biggest thing for me is getting through this grief process and just remembering that things have changed, but I feel like my mom shaped me and prepared me for this stuff. No matter how hard it is, it's hard right now. Months have passed, but I have the will to go on as she would want me to. That doesn't change the fact that I don't miss her, because I miss her and love her and think about her all the time. But I also think about all the things that she would tell me and teach me, and just all the encouragement she would give. She dealt with the same thing with her mother. And I know it was very hard for her. Years that went by since her mom had passed. And she would talk about her and think about her. But she would also talk about the good times and laugh, and she would sing the songs her mom would sing to her. And I do those same things, and it helps. So I thank God for just keeping me. And even at age 30, I'm still being shaped and molded into this man that he is making me to be, that he wants me to be. And I had a lot of guidance from Carolyn Estelle Ames, even my birth mother, who died when I was 2. I feel like a lot of her's in me from what I've been told. So Carolyn Estelle Ames and Margaret Moody, I thank God for them. And many people, even my grandmother on my mother's side, Lena, my Aunt Elsie. I feel like they've all been a part of this process. Whether you want to admit it or not, or see it, it could be hurt, it could be pain, whatever it could be, it shapes you. You just take all that stuff and you grow. And you forgive. I could write a book about all the stuff that's gone on in my life, but I've learned to move on from it. I learned to forgive, and I'm thankful to have that mind frame, because it's brought peace in my life. It really has. I don't yearn to, do revenge or try to go after someone because they've hurt me in the past, they've done this and that. I'm at peace. And a goal for me is to remain at peace. Not just with the past, but when future things arise. It's easy to allow things to cause you to get frustrated real easily and quickly, and then you eventually blow up. You sometimes say the wrong things, say things that you may or may not regret. I don't want to be that way. Which is why a lot of times when drama and things come my way, I don't say a lot. I take it in prayer, try to release it from my mind so I don't get so frustrated and hold on to it, and just keep pushing. So tonight is about setting goals. It's about continuing to grow and honestly loving yourself. I'm going to save that topic for another time. But be encouraged, and I encourage everybody to set goals for yourself and work on it for the week. I'm not only setting goals, but I'm starting my challenge because my goal is to stay prayed up, starting in the mornings and at night. So I'm gonna try to start each day reading in this book, and just to help me grow spiritually. Because a big goal of mine, which is going to be all year round, is to get back in my ministry like I was. I got discouraged years back after our church closed, after my mom got sick, when her dementia started. I didn't understand it, and I got angry. And it got to the point I didn't even want to be a minister, I'm going to be honest. So I fell back in my ministry. And that was the worst thing I could have ever done. Then when our church closed, I didn't even want to go to any other church. And I was holding a lot of frustrations and thinking that churches that we were affiliated with, how they looked down on our church because we were small, and how they did my mother, who's a pastor. So it was a lot of anger and hurt. And I just fell back, thinking, if I pray and just stay focused spiritually at home, things would be good. But then I fell back at home, and a lot of problems arose. It was the worst mistake I could ever make. I can't go back on that though. Eventually, my eyes opened. Even my mom with dementia encouraged me to get back in the church. And two friends invited me to come to Cape Charles Baptist. I was reluctant in the beginning, but eventually I went, and I was glad that I did because I never looked back. I never stopped. And now I'm the drummer there. I've also done ministry with the youth there in the past, and I'm just thankful. Not just being in church, but the fact that I found peace. I felt a lot of love from the members there, and I just felt the presence of God, and it motivates me. It really does. Through these hard times, after losing all the family members I lost, I could have gave up again, but I'm encouraged to keep going. I'm encouraged to want to dig deeper spiritually and grow spiritually and right my wrongs and make changes. So that's what I'm going to do. So whatever it is that you want to work on, you take baby steps. It could be writing down things. It could be a prayer box. Just seeking God, asking Him to help you with whatever problems that you're facing. and help you get through it. How can you get through it? It starts there. And then just trying, making those steps. Be encouraged. I feel like 2020 was a hard year, and 2021 is starting off with a bang, still losing people, many loved ones. But it doesn't mean that we have to stop right there and give up. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So that's all I'm gonna share tonight. I feel a lot better, honestly. I pray this helps someone else. As I always say, God bless. Be brief.